Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Chris back again with another video. If you like crypto and you love making money from getting into projects super early, then why not subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoy the content, ring the bell and make sure that you select all notifications so you don't miss a thing. Right, got lots to cover off today. So we're going to start with the fact that Bitcoin is going to, just zoom on past 100K, according to crypto veterans. So we've got to have a look at what they've got to say. We've got Iran and all the stuff that's going on there with the miners, a little bit on strong hands and the fact that they're accumulating, a little bit of news on El Salvador. So all Bitcoin related, but there's lots of really bullish news, so I thought it was really worthwhile sort of covering this off. So let's get into it. Right, so we're going to start here with the first article. So let's get into this one. Crypto veteran Bobby Lee says Bitcoin's recent 50% collapse from all-time highs does not mirror the market tops of the past, and I completely agree with that, completely aligned with what's being said there. In a new interview with Luke Martin of Venture Coinist, Lee, who accurately called for the 50% drop in BTC once it approached the $70,000 level, is discussing when we can expect Bitcoin to catch fire and blast through the six-figure mark. And everybody sort of within the crypto space is talking about this happening, minus all the people spreading FUD about being in a bear market. I think we're going to go and hit it either later this summer or the fall of this year and get past 100K, and then it's going to zoom up really fast. And that's what's being said here. If Bitcoin were to follow Lee's path, the flagship cryptocurrency would need to appreciate by over 200% from the current price within the next 3 to 5 months. And that would just be remarkable. According to Lee, once BTC manages to multiply itself in the span of 1 to 3 days, we can start talking about the market top. Thus far, Lee does not believe that Bitcoin price has increased at the fast enough rate to signal a peak of this cycle. And that is something that Nick and myself believe also. And I'll give another prediction of when it will hit the bull market. How do you know it's an all-time high? How do you know it's really the peak? If the price doubles within a day or two, somewhere around 1 to 3 days, that's when it runs out of steam, the all-time high of the market cycle. The important thing is, people always say, how do you know when it hit all-time highs or the all-time peak? The peak doesn't happen based on FUD and bad news. The founder of the crypto exchange BTC says the top of the bull run will conclude with maximum euphoria and parabolic price action, contrary to the rounded top and negative news cycle that predicts the collapse. So that's really interesting. When there's calls for regulatory crackdown, that's officially the panic sell. That's never the end of the peak. However, the true end of the peak is usually from not enough steam. It's when the price goes up too fast and it cannot sustain it anymore. So what happens when the price doubles or increases 50 to 100% in 1 to 3 days? I'd say don't miss a beat. Okay, right, so this one is Iran's Ministry of Industry issues 30 licenses to crypto mining farms. So basically, I'm not going to read through the whole article, but back in May, the president said that crypto mining operations had to cease until September 22nd, resulting from the load they placed on the national power grid. It was an exceptionally hot summer, and this had an impact on water levels and all this sort of stuff, right? Which impacts the operations that they had. Also in May, the Central Bank of Iran moved to ban the trading of certain cryptocurrencies. So just a nice short article there. But I think this is bullish. I think it's I guess how it was articulated back at the time was that this is the end of the world, but actually it's not. It's mainly because of the issues on the power grid. So again, some more positive news, right? And then we go to this one here. So whilst all the weakness in the market, and when I say weakness, all the retail investors that have been selling, the strong hands have been accumulating Bitcoin in massive amounts, right? And this is something that we've talked about all the time on the channel, yeah, to try to decipher through the FUD, and you have to kind of be able to just handle the big swings in the market, right? That swings up and then swings down, right? So let's get into this article. Closely followed analyst Will says that he's seeing an on-chain signal indicating that strong hands are aggressively buying the Bitcoin dip. And I'm going to say I bought some Bitcoin as well. I was buying some Bitcoin in this dip recently. Will tells his 123,000 odd or so Twitter followers that the past month long-term holders have been quietly accumulating massive amounts of BTC to offset the selling of the short-term holders, so the weaker hands. In the last 30 days, long-term holders have added 579,000 BTC to their holdings, while short-term have reduced theirs by 521,000 BTC. So, you know, again, using Glassnode to kind of articulate that in the image there. Looking at the short-term holders, Will highlighted a tweet from Lex, CIO of crypto-focused hedge fund, showing how these entitles are parting with their BTC and taking losses compared to the bear market of 2018 and the coronavirus induced panic in March last year. So yeah, that's pretty wild, right? In the short term, holders sell. Lex emphasizes that billions and billions of dollars worth of capital are flowing into exchanges in the form of stable coins, suggesting that investors who are staying on the sidelines getting ready to enter the crypto markets. Supply of stable coins on exchanges reached a new all-time high of 17 billion, plenty of dry powder to buy dips. No wonder Bitcoin below 30k was all scooped up really fast. And again, you've got your diagram there to illustrate what's happening here, right? At the time of writing, Bitcoin was trading at 34,394, and that's up 4.5% in the last 24 hours. So yeah, really interesting. And again, this just shows what's happening in the market, right? Whilst you're selling your Bitcoin, the rich and the wealthy are purchasing it, right? And you've always got to follow where the good money is going, the wealthy money. Then we've got another really good piece of news here. El Salvador to buy an estimated $135 million worth of Bitcoin. So again, this is it's not the biggest amount in all the world when you consider this. You know, this is a country, right? Central American nation of El Salvador is preparing to give away as much as 135 million worth of Bitcoin to its citizens. This Thursday, the president of El Salvador announced that adult citizens in El Salvador will receive $30 worth of Bitcoin for free after setting up their accounts on the government's cryptocurrency app. And this was reported by Forbes. The nation, which according to Reuters is set to officially adopt Bitcoin as legal tender on September the 7th of this year, is estimated to have 4.5 million adult citizens. So yeah, it's fairly sizable. According to the on-chain analyst 𝗕𝗓𝗪, if all 4.5 million Salvadorans opt to receive the free Bitcoin, it will instantaneously grow the Bitcoin network by 2.5%. In addition to announcing plans for the $30 Bitcoin airdrop, President reassured the citizens that Bitcoin use would not be mandatory and that the US dollar will also still be used as legal tender in the country. It has been stressed that the introduction of Bitcoin as legal tender will not be similar to the process that took place when the national adopted the dollar and the contents of the citizens' bank accounts were converted into USD. This Bitcoin will be optional. Nobody will receive Bitcoin if they don't want it. If someone receives a payment in Bitcoin, they can choose to automatically receive it in dollars. According to the president, one of the central reasons that the government is introducing Bitcoin as legal tender is to simply to simplify the process of sending remittance back to those in El Salvador. And that's pretty much it. But this is like real positive news for adoption of crypto, right? Like we're always saying that it's important to support with the adoption of cryptocurrency. So these articles are just really positive in my eyes. It's funny how we go through these cycles of really bad news, and you know, it's used by criminals and this, that, the other, right? Hackers here, hackers there, scams, the FCA coming out with what they came out with, Binance, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's like somebody flicks a switch and we're getting all this positive news, right? You've got to look at what's happening in the markets and, you know, not succumb to some of this FUD that's out in the news, right? So hopefully this was informative, useful. And so, you know, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button if you enjoyed the content, and we'll be back again shortly. Take care.